Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, hey guys, doing Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, legionnaires, and any new recruits. As always, really appreciate you all checking out my channel and my videos. All right, in front of you, you see the Lynxgear Bushcraft Knife in D2 steel, and I'm excited to see how it's going to perform. What are you all carrying today? What's your EDC? Well, aside from my axe and my saw, I am also carrying this Fintiso Falcon in 14C 28-inch steel. Expect a review on this soon. Veterans and active military who enjoy the outdoors, I got a great budget blade over here, but we still have to put it to the test. Just want to say thank you very much for your service and enjoy the video. Initial impressions for 20 bucks, man. This is a pretty nice blade. Let's go over some quick specs. Once again, this is the Lynxgear Bushcraft Knife. Overall length is 8.6 inch. Blade length is 3.8 inch. Blade steel is D2. Blade design is a drop point. Blade grind is hollow. Blade finish is a satin stonewash. Blade hardness is 59 HRC. Blade thickness is 0.12 inch. Handle length is 4.8 inch. Handle thickness is 0.6 inch. Handle material, black G10 scales. Weight is 6.5 ounce, and it does include a nylon sheath. It's full Tang, and it has a lanyard hole. Okay, a real quick look up close. I am really digging the blade design. I think it's simple. It looks, it looks nice. It's effective. I have been using it, so it's a little bit used. This knife, I've been enjoying using my knives before doing reviews lately. But here we go, man. Beautiful, simple, elegant drop point design. This one does have a hollow grind, as you can see, but it's got some meat to it, man. It's not a very thin hollow grind, so I like that. It has a slight sharpening choil, just enough, a little guard. Okay, there's the full Tang goodness. Let me give you the whole picture right here. And if you look at the scales, they're a nice G10, nicely contoured, nicely textured. Some grooves here. I don't have any lanyard. I need to pick some up, but I'm going to do some slight chopping, nothing major, just to test it out. And you could see that the scales are removable. It has some stainless steel hardware, lanyard hole, just nicely done. The fit and finish is pretty decent. The blade grind is nice, as you could see right there. It looks pretty even. Everything seems even. I'm liking this blade. Simple, effective for 20 bucks, man. How can you, go wrong? Now let's take a look at the sheath. I know some of you will not like this sheath. However, I've been carrying it a lot lately. Since I've received it, I've been carrying it on my hip. It's a simple nylon sheath. Okay, it's in my opinion, a decent quality snap. That's not just going to come off loose at any moment. The stitching is really nice. It is thick. It seems to be pretty sturdy. There is no plastic insert. However, the purpose of the sheath here is to protect you from getting cut. So let's put the knife in. All right. When it snaps in, it's not going anywhere. It's really quiet. I appreciate the simplicity of this sheath, and it does the job, man. Let's get to work. Good news for me, I was able to find some paracord, so I'm going to take advantage and use it on this knife. Now I have a pretty dried up piece of a log over here, and I'm going to do a little bit of slight chopping and maybe just finish off with some V-notch batoning, okay? So let's see, let's check this out now, see how this performs. Once again, this knife is not a chopper. The point of me testing this out is to see how the hardness of the blade works out, the heat treatment, and I want to make sure that it doesn't chip, it doesn't roll, it doesn't fold over the steel, and that usually gives me a good indication that this knife will probably do pretty good. Not a chopper at all. However, by holding your hands towards the rear of the handle, you could do a little bit of chopping. biting in. I hope everybody is enjoying their afternoon today. And that I'm glad that you guys are all here checking this out. I've been really enjoying carrying this blade. For 20 bucks, man, I've been using it in the kitchen a lot, you know, and it's right there on my hip. It doesn't feel like it's there at all. When I need it, I grab it, pop it out of that nylon sheath. Easy, just easy. So the swell over here is really nice, man. I'm getting a really good grip as I'm doing the chopping. Just want to relay that info to you. Now, Lynxgear has also sent me a Hunter, a beautiful, beautiful, simple hunting knife, and we're going to have the opportunity to test that out together also. So, stay tuned for that. Now, the front part of the blade is not front heavy whatsoever, so I'm just depending on the sharpness of the blade and a little bit of momentum, don't get me wrong, to get through this. Not bad so far, man. Let's take a quick look at that edge. I don't see no warping or bending, so that's good. That's good. Let's just keep going. It's definitely a solid piece of wood. Just want to make sure you all know that. Look at the way it's just biting in. You know? Let me try it this way instead. Now, I know I'm calling it a bushcraft knife. I'm sure you can do all kinds of things with it, you know. You can definitely, gut some game with this, no doubt. And it's got that nice, slight hollow grind. And, I cut up some pork ribs the other day, and let me tell you, it did a fine job. Again, I am not swinging hard. I am relying on the sharpness of the blade to help out with some of this chopping. So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, as you can see, we're at the core of this log, and it's hard, that's for sure, but blade is still making the proper cuts that I'm expecting it to for a sharp blade. All right, look at that. That's a pretty decent chunk right there. So still biting in. Looking good. Looks good, man. It looks good. Now, a subscriber, he told me about this. I had no idea about this company. A subscriber told me about, Lynxgear, and I reached out to them, and they were more than happy to do a collaboration, So, and I got to tell you, since I've received them, I've been pleasantly surprised with the Bushcrafter. They don't really have a name for it, so I'm just calling it the Bushcraft. It looks like a bushcraft knife to me. But guaranteed it's an all-rounder. All right, we're almost through. There we go. All right, that's a pretty decent sized log right there, man. And this knife did the job, and you could see that's straight, man. So awesome. Let's let's do, I thought I was going to do some V-notch batoning, but let's do just vertical, horizontal batoning. I think this knife, should be able to handle it without a problem. These are the two logs I just got finished chopping. We'll start off with this one. We'll do some vertical batoning, all right? And that's more than enough for this knife to hopefully handle. Sure I get this good. Okay, that did well. Let's make some quarters. It's splitting nice, even though the stock is thin. It seems to be doing a good job so far. Not the best piece of wood. However, it doesn't matter if you're going to burn it. You know what I mean? You just want nice small pieces for a small campfire. Didn't go as I planned, but let's try this piece now. Okay, that's good. I'm telling you, not the best piece of wood, but it is hard. Right? Let's do this one. Again, this is a small, this is a small knife. You just want to do something for a, stove, a small campfire. Okay, so looks good, man. Looks good. Let's do some horizontal batoning. Let me grab the other piece and let's see if we can make some feather sticks out of this stuff. Whatever this is, man, it's pretty hard. Okay, give me a second. Figures I picked a piece of wood that was absolutely brittle, but anyway, let's see if I can make halves out of this. Splitting, that's good. I'm going to take this a little bit at a time. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to split. Edge is looking good. Nice. See what I mean? It's a brittle piece of wood, man. Absolutely brittle. But again, this should burn big time if you needed, a fire for the night. So let's continue here. Actually, you know what I want to do? Let's do the whole blade. See how it works out. Okay, looking good. Now this is a perfect, knife with a saw and an axe. So, but again, this is a channel that tests out knives, right? Good enough for me. Good enough for me. Absolutely brittle wood, man. Okay, I'm going to leave these quarters. I'm going to see if I can find something a little bit better to making some feather sticks. I mean, this is just real brittle and it's, I don't know, I probably won't make some decent feather sticks. But other than that, man, you could see that the knife did a good job here. Okay, and we're still, making these curls. Still sharp. It's good. All right, we're looking good so far. Let me see if I can find something better. A little bit different species, but just as dry and nice and long too, which is good for feather sticks. So let's start it again. See if I can make thirds over here. Okay, hopefully these are not as brittle as the other one, but in any case, let me keep on going. That did a nice job. Let's do it again. Now I'm noticing that the hardware is just a little bit loose. I do have some red Loctite. Probably should have done it before, but you know what? I'm going to keep on going. We're getting there, see that? There we go. Okay, nice. It did a good job. You know what? Let me process these thinner pieces off camera. I'll tighten up the hardware, and I'll be back. Once again, not the greatest piece of wood that I found. However, you know, it's adequate enough to burn, right? So I got this in feather stick type length. And, you know, again, if you need to make a pile of wood shavings, you know, it also depends on where where you live, what park you go to, what property you're on, what part of the country you're in, This is what's available over here to me on the ground. So, and just for those who don't know, I'm in a county park. And I can't, cut anything off of a tree or chop a tree down or anything like that. So I got to pick up, whatever's on the ground. But you could see after that bit of abuse with this knife, okay, you can make a nice big pile. And I'm definitely shaving thin. By the way, I did tighten up the hardware. It did come loose. I added some red Loctite. I know it has to cure, but I'm here now, so I'm gonna make the best of it that I can. And once again, though, as you could see, the knife is doing good, man. D2 steel. Definitely some hard pieces of wood that I batoned and chopped. I mean, I can keep on going. It feels like till this is whittled down. All right, good. This is a good example right here. All right, now feather stick. Now I did clean another piece of wood that was over here. I think this is it right here. Okay, let's see if I can make a nice feather stick for everybody. I know some of you like the traditional way. I can't stand this. But no matter how or how you like to do it, as long as you get it done. Okay, an example. All right, that's right, one way to do it. And let me go back to this stick. I like to do it this way. Hollow grind, the hollow grind, I appreciate hollow grinds. I used to think that I would rather have, a different grind, but you know what? I have come to appreciate hollow grind knives. They are pretty good. Okay, obviously time will tell, but 20 bucks, man. And I've been using it ever since I received it. 20 bucks, pretty good. Let's see what else we can do. How about a demonstration of some cross batoning? Again, you have a stove, a little stove, firebox stove, whatever your favorite stove is. You want to make the pieces a little bit smaller. Perfect. I know some people just, throw in the whole huge stick or log or whatever, but just for whatever reason, you like smaller pieces instead of just shoving this whole thing in there. Just a small demonstration of some cross batoning. One more. Okay. Nice, small, manageable pieces. Now, I have something a little bit thicker, a little bit more challenging. Let's give it a try. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to go on the floor. I'll pick them up. Just looking for something stable here. Great. Okay. However you want to do it, you know what I mean? Again, just a demonstration to show what this nice little knife can do. All right. Still pretty sharp, man. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Let's do it again. I'm just trying not to, hit it too hard that it has to go on the floor, because I hate picking this stuff up, man. And of course, I'll have to pick that stuff up. But again, you get the idea. All right. Something a little bit more manageable for the firebox stove. The edge is looking good. All right. That's pretty awesome. Just to show you all, I do use my saw to make more manageable pieces. Now, I could have, notched all the way through to cut through, but I don't have all day, so I do use a saw. I also have an axe, okay? Now, just a demonstration for carving. Let me just put these down. Just a demonstration for carving, right? I think this is a bushcraft knife. At the very least, you could do the basics with it. And, I'm not an expert. So those who are advanced, it's up to you to decide if a knife like this suits your advanced needs or not. But the only thing that I'm trying to show everybody is that it can, carve. And that's what I'm doing. And I always use the example of a tent stake to get my point across. And just some easy removal of the bark. Nothing too advanced. If you need to take more of the wood off to get more detailed, maybe you need to make a dowel to fit into a drilled hole with one of those bushcraft drills. You could do it. And this is just a basic demonstration, a basic example of some carving here, right? So now right? So I like to make a number 7 notch. Again, nothing too heavy duty. I mean, I would love to take the saw and make, nice notch with the saw and then use the knife, but just again showing a small demonstration of the capabilities of this knife as a possible bushcraft knife. Okay, and the handles, I gotta say, you could take a look, man. They're nicely contoured. They feel good, and looks like there's room for a big hand. All right, maybe 2 more fingers. You got a big paw. You got the room. All right, and then you can get more elaborate. I don't know, pot holder, whatever it is that you could think of, right? You want to carve a spoon. You can see I'm digging in. Okay, that's not bad, but just a small demonstration. Okay, now let's test out the spine. There's no need for me to make a spear point. I think I got my point across, with this number 7 notch over here that you could definitely carve. And, me personally, to save time, I would just, let me do it. I would just, instead of carving out a spear point, I'll just save myself a little time, do this. This will be just as effective, and then you could do whatever it is that you need to do here. If you want to whittle this down a little more, I mean, you want to be out in the woods to enjoy it, not to keep on working, You want to set up, I don't know, you want to go fishing, hunting. There you go. All right. This will definitely work as a tent stake, So what I want to do now is test out the spine on this, okay? Let me see if I can find another piece now that I did this over here. This is the other piece of that log that I just made the tent stake with. I just split these up a little bit. So what I want to do is see how the spine works, because it is kind of sharp. So taking off the bark. Doing an efficient job, okay? And again, for some of you, this might be more than enough to start something, and then you put leaves or birch or whatever. Let me just take off this this right here. And now we've got a little piece for the wood. Seems to be doing okay. All right. I mean, not bad. There's sharper out there, but you could, for the price that you pay, if you have a belt sander or even a work sharp sharpener, just sharpen up the spine a bit. and you'll be good to go, man. But it's doing it. All right, I think we're good with that. Now, just some fat wood here. Let me just show you the fat wood. Well, let's see how it works with the fat wood here. Seems to be doing the job, you know, with the fat wood. Pretty efficient, you know. I think there is room for improvement for the sharpness of the spine, but it's doing it. And again, you could always make nice curls. Little combination, right? Right here. So spine's good. I think the spine is a good check. Now, somebody had mentioned, and this is a guy who's only commented one time on my channel, said that the tip is weak and that the steel is, you know, not so good. Let me just move this out of the way. So let's test it out. I told him I got to test it out for myself. I just can't take the word of somebody that probably doesn't even watch my channel, who had, you know, who may have had a bad experience or whatever. But he said that there was other videos that the tip failed. Only issue I've had so far since owning this knife is the hardware was a little loose. Let's start off with a thin piece. Okay, that looks good. I've got this right here. Now, just to show everybody, I just put a small dent in here so I don't accidentally cut myself. So I'm going to put it where the dent is. Okay. You know, I'm more worried about safety than worrying about a tip. Just in case, even though it has that slight guard, might as well use this, right? Let's see now. Let's see. Tip looks good. See, these guys, they spout off this stuff and they don't really give me any explanation, you know, no intelligent, you know, comment or conversation in the comment, you know, just, oh, that's no good. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. But I don't know. So far, so good. Let's let me see if I could drill a little hole in here. I'm using the point to pivot a bit, and I am pressing down pretty hard. I don't know, everything looks good, man. You can see it's a pretty decent. Pretty decent divots so far. Again, nobody gives me a, you know, decent explanation to comment. They just say, oh, the tip breaks. Watch other videos. It sucks. I don't know. Does that suck to you? I don't know. Split this piece of wood. If you don't have a baton readily available, I did it. So That's good. Now let's see. Let's see if this will spark up. Yeah. There we go. All right. Spine works good. I mean, $20, man. You're on a budget. You know, this will do the job for you. You know, you're worried about it breaking, buy two. You know, you got a backup. But it did a good job, man. It did a real good job as far as I'm concerned. $20 powerhouse, man. I mean, the knife, look at all the work this knife did. And just to satisfy the curiosity for everybody, I got some rope over here. Let's, you know, simulate camp tasks. Okay, she cuts. The knife is working great, doing a great job. You could see the divot over there. The tip, you know, worked well. I even split a small little log. I mean, combine this with a axe and a saw, or one or the other. You know, I think it's a winning combination. I mean, one of the axes that I have is $20. It's a Husky axe from Home Depot. You know, the pocket saw, less than $20. Great budget items that seem to do the job, and you don't got to go out and spend a lot of money. All right, troops, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me bring awareness to everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans in active military who wants to get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides, call those phone numbers, check out those websites, surf them, and also read a heartfelt message from one of your own warriors. Martin Miller, U.S. Army veteran, 66 to 69. He has a heartfelt message. I've left it at the end of the slides over here. Please seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, thank you again. At the ready, troops, hold the line. Take care.
Legionnaires!